Hello and welcome to the next video in our series. This one is entitled Faults and Fixes, Cause and Effects. Now remember, we're playing a game out here that stuff goes wrong on the golf course. The golfer that recognizes how to fix the mistakes the fastest is going to be the one that usually comes out on top. The purpose for this video is to help you take all the other information that you've got from our first video, building and maintaining the golf swing, and the second video, what's the moon made out of, and understand it more in depth so that you become your own teacher, so that you can fix things when you see them starting to go wrong, not once they're full-fledged, full-blown bad habits. That's possible. This game can be done that way, but you have to understand the components that make up the total so that when you go about fixing what you see happening, you're not messing with things that you shouldn't be messing with. You're only fixing the things that you should be working with. Now, before I even get started on that, I just really want to make sure that anybody receiving this video understands that this video was to only be sold to people that have one of my first two videos. Anyone having not seen them may not interpret this correctly, which is a care to me. So, that being said, let's move forwards. The first thing I want to do is start with something everybody wants, and that's distance. Learning what causes it so that when something starts to go wrong, you know where to go and fix it quickly. Remember the facts being this: 76% of all the speed that I'm capable of creating comes from the educated motion of my hands. I'm going to take one hand at a time and show you what I do with it, and then show you how to practice them. My right wrist. When I hit a golf ball, the right wrist is bent, and it maintains that bend throughout impact all the way to my finished position. My concern is always that two-dimensional cameras and still photography cannot see the bend from certain angles. Then we fall into the age-old rut of trying to do what we think we see. Underline the word what we think we see, because it's not what's happening. So let's go with the right wrist first. That's bent, as you can see. Please don't confuse it with the word cocked, because it's not. That's cocked. And the reason I'm probably so adamant about it is that I send out newsletters to everybody and I keep writing. We do everything on the internet. And I want the people that follow my stuff to have one word for one motion so that we, as a team, don't get screwed up in terminologies. It's important that you understand mine, because mine never change. So you keep track of mine, and I think everything that I do, write, put on video, you'll catch on to a whole lot quicker. So, my right wrist bends. From impact forward, it bends. It does not cock, it bends. I'll go from this angle. I'm in here. You can definitely see that wrist is bent. From here forwards, it remains bent. That's called lag pressure. That gives me a great deal of distance. I'm going to let you in on something that not everybody knows about. You don't need to explain this to your friends, because they might not understand it unless they know the total. But if you can see this first joint of my index finger on my right hand, that's my master pressure point. And I can tell where the lag pressure is at all times of my club head through that joint. What I'm suggesting to you is, with my hands on the golf club, when I swing through the golf ball, if that club is laying on that master pressure point, I have retained my lag pressure. If it isn't, then I have lost my lag pressure. I'm saying to you that if you knew what right was, then it's only a matter of time until you get it very good. But you must know what right is. You must go to the practice tee and understand what correct is. Beating balls isn't going to help you. It hasn't helped anybody in 500 years, and you're not probably going to be the first. Knowledge, that's the key. Knowledge. Get the correct information, and you're well on your way to improving your golf game. That's what I'm trying to do with my right wrist. Lag pressure. Very important to you. That's going to get you the distance that you're capable of. The left hand. In my golf swing, I see my left side is inert. Dead. It doesn't do much, except when the right hand moves, the left arm reacts to the correct motion of my right hand. But let's show you what it does. The left wrist in the golf swing cocks. But that is it. It cocks. It doesn't double cock. More is not better. Less is better. It goes from the level condition to the cock condition, and that's all. The left wrist is flat through impact. The number one breakdown of the golf swing in the world today is this wrist going like this, which we'll get into a little bit later when we talk about tempo and timing. If the right wrist is trained correctly, it makes it very hard for this to break down. But please put that in your memory banks, because it's going to need to come out a little bit later too. So that's what I'm trying to do with my hands, the speed and the motion of my hands. Now let me show you how I practice that. I practice them to build up the speed that I already have, except that I waste if I do them incorrectly. I'm going to make sure I do them correctly. To do this, what I'm asking of you is to take your body out of it. Let's practice one component at a time. Take your body out of this practice session. Just get your hands swinging correctly. How I would like to see you do this is go to the practice tee, say, okay, I'm working on distance now. I know that I get 76% of all my total speed that I can generate from the educated use of my hands. So I show myself what I want. I'll do it from this angle. I show myself what I want. Pressure point, lag pressure. So I'll hit a few balls just using my hands. Maintaining my lag pressure. Quiet body. I don't want to put my body into it yet. It hasn't been trained yet. That's what I'm doing with my hands. So you may decide to take 10 balls and hit them just to get that working correctly. Remember, this is for you people that may be having trouble with your distance. You're not hitting it far enough. Okay, so that's what I'm doing with my hands. This whole unit that we're working on is called the power package, which is the club, the hands, and the arms. That in itself is your hint. Distance problem, power package problem. Get the power package working correctly, you'll fix the distance. Next, it's my arms. My arms give me 16% of all the possible speed that I'm able to create, but not through muscular force, through geometry. If I swing my arms on the line that they were intended to swing on, I will not lose any speed. You see, most people lose speed not because they don't have it, it's because they're misusing it, usually from misinformation such as swing down the line, swing inside out. That loses you speed. For example, let me give you one. Bobsleds. I'm saying to you that if I had 5 different bobsleds, let's say they're all built the same, but they're going down the same run. No humans in them. Just all down the same run. If I let them go, they'll all pretty well clock out at the same time. Once I put a human in them, and the human starts steering them, the guy that hits the sides the most will be going the slowest. Although if you asked him, he may tell you that he felt like he was going very fast, which is probably true. Contrary, the person that wins the race is the one that hit the sides the least, created the least amount of resistance through the path, preset path. If you asked him, he'd probably tell you like he was going the slowest. Therefore, when you hit your best shots, you say, I felt like I was swinging slow, which you weren't. But I understand why you say you were, because you weren't hitting the sides. You were allowing your arms to do what they naturally want to do, what any 8-year-old kid in the world would ever do, until some grown-up comes and tells them to swing down the line, extend through the shot, swing inside out. All those things are things that have deterred my speed. We've got to get back off that. The correct is, I need to swing a golf club from inside to inside, which is a totally natural procedure. Take away all the misconceptions. Every 8-year-old kid in the world does this, and it